Alright, so if you've been following Formula 1, then you'd know that Mercedes have been leading the game for quite a while now. But as per usual, a Formula 1's team period of domination eventually comes to an end. However, a lot of F1 fans seem to think that Mercedes' time has been long overdue. So if you've seen the pre-season testing, you've probably noticed that Mercedes didn't do too well. Or at least not on par with what we've gotten used to over the years. As a reference, Mercedes completed the least amount of laps in the 3-day period. While that doesn't really say anything about the drivers, it can however say much about the car. There's jokes going around that Mercedes are using a tactic called sandbagging, to basically give the illusion that the teams and cars are underperforming, so that the other teams don't look closer into the Merc's new changes for the 2021 season. While that hasn't and cannot really be confirmed, Red Bull's Christian Horner noticed the team doing worse than usual and accused Mercedes of using this tactic. Again, while we can't know for sure, there is a good possibility that this is the case. In the 2019 preseason, Ferrari outperformed Mercedes, but then they miraculously came back and won the first 8 races of the season. So yeah, there is the chance that they're sandbagging. But let's take a look at the other possibility for a minute. Could Mercedes actually be losing their touch? I mean, Bottas did have a gearbox issue that the team was clueless about just one lap into the first day of testing. And Hamilton also had to wrestle with the W12 a couple of times, even beaching it in the gravel at turn 13. Of course, anyone can look at this as just a small bump in the road. But is it really? Seriously though, I mean, the mistakes made really did seem genuine despite what the memes say. Think about it this way, each team only has 3 days of testing before the season starts. Are you sure they want to be spending the limited time they have acting like clowns so that other teams don't try and copy them? Some may argue yes, and I guess that's understandable. I mean, they have won the last 7 Constructors' Championships with relative ease, so you could argue that they're in the position to do so, but on the other hand, I don't think Toto and the team are really looking to slow down. I'm sure other teams have already sent spy photographers and whatnot to get a closer look at the W12. So wouldn't it make the most sense for Mercedes to just go all out in testing and maybe, I don't know, test? Well, yes, but actually no. There's one small teeny tiny detail we're leaving out of the equation. And that's the fact that the cars are very close to last year's ones. So performance is going to resemble last year's. So what's expected is Williams will be at the back and, you guessed it, Mercedes will be at the front. So no, I don't really think Mercedes are falling off this season. While yes, I don't think they are sandbagging, I do think they're just having a rough start before the season. You have to remember that this was just testing, and the reality of the situation is, while other teams have switched their driver lineups, Mercedes have stayed the same in terms of drivers. Coupling that with a very similar car to last year's, which was a beast just so you know, puts 2 of the fastest drivers on the grid in a familiar position to last year's, where of course they were dominant. So, is Mercedes domination coming to an end? Well, to put it simply, I don't think so. Or at least not this season. Remember that the 2022 season will come with some hefty regulation changes, which will most definitely play around with the team standings. So like most F1 domination periods, Mercedes' time might come at the hands of regulation changes next year. But as for the upcoming season, we can't be all too sure, because at the end of the day, I based this video off of 3 days of testing. Not practice, not qualifying, but testing. So much is up in the air about what it all means for sure. But that was all my opinion. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed and would like to see more of this content, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, good night, and I hope to see you next time.